From Missouri, Ms. Onder.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thanks to all the witnesses for coming here for this important issue. One of the biggest impediments to the success of the federal workforce development programs is the amount of red tape that local workforce boards must navigate. In any reformation of the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, we must make it easier for local workforce boards to partner with one-step partners to establish one-stop delivery systems. Right now, WIOA requires local boards to develop a memorandum of understanding with all one-stop partners pertaining to the operation of one-stop delivery systems in the local area. A key component of that is the infrastructure funding agreement, which establishes the costs for general one-stop operations such as facility rental and so on. And many times there's confusion between the state method and the local method. This is often an unnecessarily long process that takes away valuable time and resources from helping people find jobs. So last Congress, the House passed a Stronger Workforce for America Act, which included language to reform the funding of one-stop infrastructure by removing the requirement on local boards to negotiate an IFA with the one-stop partners and defaulting to the state infrastructure mechanism. But I believe there's still more we can do to streamline these processes. Mr. Moore, in your testimony, you discussed how Alabama is striving to improve program efficiency. You mentioned that last year Governor Ivey signed into law the Alabama Workforce Transformation Act, which directs the Alabama Workforce Board to improve performance through technological integration. How can we, Mr. Moore, at the federal level, help states to leverage modern technological advances with the need for regulatory compliance and hopefully minimize that time needed for regulatory compliance?
Thank you for that very important question. So one, there's far too much system in the money right now, and I appreciate you mentioned the state funding mechanism, because right now states are required to watch local workforce development boards sometimes negotiate to the point of frustration until the governor can step in and provide the state funding mechanism. We can also, I think, look in a little bit more nuanced way about how we're funding the physical footprint for our one-stop delivery system. How many people do we have per square foot? What's the foot traffic? Are we simply giving somebody directions to the 7-Eleven, or are we actually delivering services in that foot traffic pattern? But we have to combine policy, technology, and process to make this system more efficient. Number one, we've got to make it easier to cross-train and maybe loosen up a little bit on the merit system requirements for Title I and III staff. And we have to embrace large language models to be able to improve the intake and assessment process, and that's what we're doing in Alabama through the Talent Triad. If you're a veteran that comes in with a joint service transcript, you should easily, in one stop, not have to go see John from 2 to 4 or Susie on next week from 1 to 5, but one case manager serving one customer to give them the sort of golden ticket to employment and their next stop on their training journey.
Thank you. Ms. Dodge, would you care to comment?
Well, I would just agree with Nick wholeheartedly. I think that as we think about the services being provided within these one-stops, we need to acknowledge that the adults that we're serving come to us with prior learning experiences. They come to us with workforce training that they've already taken, and we need to honor those skills and competencies, ensuring that they can either be reskilled into a highly needed job, or that they can enter post-secondary with academic credit on an academic pathway.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.